God's horse beef. What's going on, everybody? Charles Oliveira did it, man. Alex Pereira did it. Diego Lopez did it. Peter Yan's the man, obviously. Fucking Merab keeps winning. Yuri Prochazka keeps winning. It seems like 2025 is just the year for the beef-loving community, the beef lovers out there. This has been the year for us, man. All the good guys have been winning. All the main characters have been winning. And it just has me feeling so excited about the sport going forward, man. Obviously, it just takes a couple of our favorite fighters losing. I'm not even like a big Charles Oliveira guy, right? I love Charles Oliveira. Trust me, I love Charles Oliveira as a fighter. I love watching him fight, but I wouldn't exactly call myself like a Charles Oliveira super fan, but I understand the super fans of Charles Oliveira because he has such a fan-friendly style. He's a down-to-earth person. And his title run was fucking legendary to witness, man. And to see him come back after that knockout loss to Ilia Topuria, where many people, I'm sure, thought that he was washed. And it seems like that, right? Because people were really going out there en masse picking Mateusz Gamrot on short notice against Charles Oliveira as if Charles was just going to be washed, man. But it's just not the case, right? Notice how every single fighter that Ilia Topuria has knocked out recently, right? Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, after the fact, they're said to be washed, but then they go on to perform very well in their next fight and win in very impressive fashion, right? Is that not weird to you guys? Right, it's pretty funny how it keeps working out that way. But obviously I don't want to turn this video into a how good is Ilia Topuria really video, even though of course I could do that just based on that point alone, right? Max Holloway, Volkanovski, Charles Oliveira have all come back since then and showed that they're in fact not washed, right? I just wanted to establish that real quick, and just to say that you fans out there who claim that everyone who Ilia Topuria beats is washed simply because you don't want to give Ilia Topuria credit, what are you saying now? Every single one of his last 3 wins, right, has aged beautifully. And I just want you to understand that his resume is only getting better as these fighters prove themselves to be at the elite level to this day. And I just know that certain fans fucking hate that, and that is hilarious. So kick rocks. Ilia Topuria is the man, pound for pound number 1, best in the world, and it's as simple as that. But how about that for a vintage performance from Charles Oliveira, man? Truly vintage performance. That forward pressure, he's so hard to deal with, man. If you can't knock him out or just finish him, right? You have to finish Charles Oliveira to get him off. It's the only way, right? It does worry me sometimes with his chin, right? Gamrot did catch him a few times early on in the fight. Honestly, Gamrot was catching Charles quite often in this fight. He was, but good thing Gamrot is not known for his knockout power, or else we could have potentially seen more trouble for Charles Oliveira here. But he was just walking forward, dude, into the fire, and that's why we all love him. That's why we love him. Into the fire, fighting for that clinch, man. Some of the best clinch work in the UFC. There aren't too many fighters out there who want to deal with him in the clinch, obviously, aside from someone like Islam Makhachev, for example, obviously. But how about the offensive wrestling from Charles here? He fucking out-wrestled Gamrot. He out-wrestled one of the best wrestlers at 155 with relative ease. Obviously, like I said, defensively leaves a lot to be desired, right? He still relies on that high guard very, very much, but there has to be a trade-off, right? If he implemented head movement, maybe he would end up losing sight of what got him to the dance, which is just that forward pressure, right? You can't be pressuring forward, slipping off the center line like that, right? Unless you're someone like Yuri Prochazka, Charles Oliveira, because he doesn't have the greatest chin in the world, or the best eyes in the world, really. He does need to keep his hands up, right? That allows him to walk into the fire the way that he does, and also with his hands up like that, allows him to reach in nice and quick for a tie clinch, right? Tie plum, and just work you, dude. Like, aside from the striking defense, he did look pretty good on the feet. Gamrot did too, man. I thought his boxing looked better than I'm used to seeing from him, but Charles did look pretty sharp. He's throwing long-winded combinations, which I'm not really used to him doing, dude. He was actually working the jab, using the jab to set up his other shots, which, like I said, I'm not used to, man. So this is a evolved version of Charles Oliveira at his age, and I think it's just enough of these reactionary fans talking about this guy's washed, that guy's washed, oh, this guy did this 5 years ago, therefore he's going to do it again. No, it's been proven time and time again that even older fighters can improve, right? Merab is improving fight over fight. Charles Oliveira seems to be improving now as well. So it's just enough. Stop writing fighters off after one result, especially fighters with the rap sheet of Charles Oliveira. It's silly, especially when these guys are only picking up losses to the best of the best.
Hey Hunter, Charles Oliveira vs Max Holloway, BMF. Vamos fazer acontecer essa.
Hey Hunter, Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway, BMF. Let's make that happen.
Take my money.
And as far as his next fight goes, right, the fight that really does make sense, because Charles Oliveira, I don't think he's earned a title shot. Max Holloway, I don't believe that he's earned one either, right, considering he was just knocked out by Ilya. And it seems like Justin Gaethje's probably next, which I hate, by the way. I hate that. If that fight is announced, which I think it might be announced tonight, by the way, let me correct the record while editing here. In fact, it is Merab versus Peter Yan 2 that has been announced. Brandon Royval versus Pantoja, and Cejudo versus Talbot, okay? But this is future horse beef. This is not current horse beef that you're listening to throughout the majority of this video. But understand that I will make a video about these announcements most likely tomorrow. Let's continue. Oh boy, right? I will be objecting to that matchup. I don't care for it whatsoever, but of course I will be watching regardless. But Charles and Max, they have a history. They fought before. The fight ended in some type of a freak injury, I believe. Max Holloway denies the existence of said injury, which is strange because I believe it is a proven thing that he did sustain quite a serious injury in that fight. But both men coming off losses, knockout losses to Ilia Topuria, and then bouncing back like this, I think it makes all the sense in the world, man. Run that one back when both of these guys are like seemingly at their best right now. I understand that Charles, right, he's getting close to 37, but not showing any noticeable decline. And Max Holloway looked very, very sharp against Dustin Poirier. So I think it makes all the sense in the world. And it's such an impossible one to pick. I feel like a fight between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway right now is one of the hardest fights to predict that you can find, really. With Max carrying some power pretty clearly at 155, and Charles Oliveira's lack of head movement could cause him some trouble. But then you have Charles Oliveira, who looks a lot bigger nowadays, a lot more filled out, like he's carrying more muscle than I'm used to seeing. He looks big, so he'd most likely outsize Max Holloway. He'd have the advantage in the clinch. 100% he would be able to muscle Max Holloway, most likely. Right, he's showing great offensive grappling, great strides in his offensive grappling, and his ability to get the fight to the ground and then employ his jiu-jitsu once it's on the ground. So I would worry for Max Holloway there. So I think overall Charles Oliveira does have more avenues to victory there. But of course, Max Holloway is just such a great striker. Right? He's one of the best strikers in the UFC. Awesome hands, great kickboxer. So I can also see a world where he goes out there and he KOs Charles Oliveira, absolutely. But I just want to see that fight made. I think it makes all the sense in the world with the BMF title on the line, and then maybe the winner of that fight gets another shot at Ilia Topuria, and then hopefully this time the BMF champion, whoever that ends up being, actually puts the BMF title on the line against him.
Ilia, why did you purchase a BMF belt?
Because I want it.
But to be honest, I'll be rooting for Charles in that one. Not because I dislike Max, but realistically though, if Max is to win that against Charles and we set up another fight with Ilia, it's super intriguing, man, because the lightweight division at the moment, it's funny how the lightweight division went from being the most stacked, right? All MMA fans saying it's the most stacked division despite the fact that the new guard can never break through until the old guard fucking retires, right? Aside from, of course, Arman Tsarukyan, right? Or if you want to be very generous towards Paddy Pimblett's cherry-picked fucking run, I guess you could say that he broke through as well. But in reality, no, he had the easiest road to where he is right now. But it's gone from that to being a completely washed division, right? The fact that Justin Gaethje kind of makes sense to go next speaks volumes to how weak lightweight is at the current moment. Not necessarily weak with talent, but just with clear-cut contenders, right? Of course, Arman on paper should be the one, but he still hasn't fought since he was told that he would have to earn his spot back after pulling out against Islam, right? We have him booked to fight. You have Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira coming off of wins, but just before those wins being knocked out by Ilia, so they don't really make sense to get a rematch against him quite yet. So it's just crazy, man. Yes, Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett, despite the fact they don't deserve a title shot whatsoever, right, under any other circumstances, they actually make sense right now, and that speaks volumes, like I said. But to end the video off, man, I want to shine a spotlight on my Portuguese brethren, Mario Pinto. It's very rare that I get to root for a Portuguese fighter, and Mario Pinto is that. He's exactly what the heavyweight division needs. Right on top of that, he's not a fat fucking tubby bastard just running around the octagon spamming big overheads until he gasses out in 30 seconds. No, he's in shape, he's fit. He's a proper heavyweight. He's well-rounded, knockout power. Clearly he can grapple as well. Completely dominated Denise and delivered one of, if not the funniest post-fight speeches of all time. I actually think it might be the funniest. I think it's funnier than Derek Lewis talking about his balls. I think it's funnier than anything that anyone else has ever done. Mario Pinto's post-fight interview had me in stitches.
A gaja da soco com força, eu disse não quero nada disso. Puxei a cabeça para baixo, chutei para o takedown. Sorry, brother, I don't speak English. Eu mando vocês todos um grande abraço. Obrigado todo pelo apoio. Também para o meu povo Portugal. Eu amo vocês todos. Agradecer a todo o apoio. Eu estou aqui. Brother, I practice something in English. I'm going to speak English now. Forgive my English. So basically, I want to give a big shout out to my people in London and England. Thank you for all the support. Big shout out to London Fight Zone, Fight City Gym, and Canary Wharf Jiu-Jitsu. That's 3 finishes now, including Dana White's Contender Series. I'm not in this league now to take part. I'm here to shut this down and put my name on the map. So you better recognize. Obrigado tudo. Big Bang Bosh. Shama.
I don't think I've laughed so much during a post-fight interview in my entire life. So Mario Pinto, thank you. With that type of charisma and the skill level that he possesses clearly at heavyweight, this is a potential star, and he reps the Portuguese flag. I know we have Manel Cap, right? But some of the cheating and the pullouts and the lack of animosity towards Mokaev while he was in the cage with him, it kind of soured me on Manel Cap a little bit, to be honest. But we have Mario Pinto now, and we're eating good. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight my boy Mario Pinto before closing the video out here. Charles got it done. All is right in the world. 2025 has been one of my favorite years for MMA yet, just because of all the hilarious results and of course the content that it's brought me. It's been like Christmas, man. And yeah, man, I cannot thank the MMA gods enough. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me, showing me support time and time again. You guys don't understand how much I appreciate it. So let me know in the comment section below whether you agree, whether you disagree, whatever your thoughts are surrounding the video, surrounding the UFC, surrounding life in general. Just let me know what you guys think. And as always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.